Empowerment.
Proud.
Don't give in to failure.
Never stop dreaming.
Yes. Daddy walk.
Langston Hughes. Believe.
Yes.
Don't let anybody define who you are.
Connection to a prideful history to move forward.
Yes. Community.
Inspiration.
Honesty.
Hope.
Yes.
Each one teach one.
Strength.
Vision.
Keep smiling.
Authenticity.
Perseverance.
Power.
Well, it's the same people pop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lopsided popcorn bag.
I'm sorry.
Anybody else who hasn't popped want to pop? Okay. Can you any of you mind elaborating on your popcorn?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody said, fire. Do you mind elaborating what
Like,
made you?
your eyes are very intense about it, and like I can tell that it came from like a very real place. And I say fire because fire's very intense, and if it hits you with burn, it kind of makes a mark on you. So it's kind of like fire.
You said honesty.
Yes. One thing I learned about acting is that if you're not honest with yourself when you're acting, it will show. Mm-hmm. Acting is like, to me, the craft of acting is you're naked. Mm-hmm. You are vulnerable. Your emotions are naked. Basically, you're pretty much expressing something that's deep inside of you. And like your soul is being in a spirit of in front of people, in front of who you are. And so as an actor, especially a black actor, with me with being dark skinned and being thick, but I'm sorry, I don't want to go into further detail, but as an actor, a black actor in Texas, honesty, it's hard to be honest with yourself and with your, not necessarily your personal life, well, your personal life too, and what you bring into those characters that you portray. You have to be honest with yourself as an actor before it just won't be authentic if you're not. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The honesty, the authenticity. That's what I like about acting. You tell a story, and everybody has a story, and you bring that story to life through your body, through your movement, through your speech and your voice and your face, and and if you're not honest, no one else will see it. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't see yourself as believable as a character, nobody else will.
Yeah,
So that's what.
Well, what I like to say to that is, for me, it's not acting. Honesty, when I think of Dr. King, you all have the speech in your hand. We gave our speeches. But throughout his whole speech, it was just honesty about the world around us. Mm-hmm. Honesty about how we're living and how we're tired. Mm-hmm. And how we are going to do something to change it. So when I wrote this piece, it was coming from that same place. Mm-hmm. And when I read his speech, because I wrote this speech 2 years ago, but we're just now getting it out to the community. So I've had some time to think about it, but it comes from a place where we have to look at, all three of us, where do we stand today, where our place as youth that are about to become the larger part of the working class. I'm 23.
I'm 22.
All right, so we're trying to find this next version of our life and this next version of ourselves. Mm-hmm. So these are questions that we really want answers to. We're not acting. These are critical issues that face our generation, the millennials, like you said. So even though it is a theatrical piece, this is just the vessel for our voices to say what we're trying to say something to you.
Yeah, and I could piggyback off of that. When Daniel opened the door for us to kind of write our own pieces, it took me to that surreal place that this was not just a performance anymore. This was leeway for me to tell, what happened to me, like as a dreamer and a person who's also a woman. Like I have a lot of dreams, and oftentimes I get told, one, I'm a woman, that my dreams shouldn't be certain kind of dreams. Two, I'm black and I'm a woman, that my dreams really shouldn't be certain type of dreams. Oh, you should focus on this, or you should focus on that. And my only dream is to be free in myself. Like that's the only dream I really have. Whatever myself is, that's what it is. So all that on stage is like just that, going to that place of remembrance of all the people who told me like no, and told me I couldn't dream like this or couldn't dream like that or be wiser about my dreams. It was like all that is in there, like all that anger, all the hurt and stuff, because that's really raw. Like, and I think, like I said, when he opened the door for us to write our own piece, it was kind of like, dang, like, you know, past that threshold of just being an actor. Now I'm this person who's presenting all of myself, and that's all I have.
So we really just take honesty from the world and just bring it to you in a different perspective. But yeah, definitely. Did you have a popcorn?
On that, well, when I was in this, as
I
far
was
as
saying, did you have popcorn? Yeah.
Popcorn. Well, I would say entrepreneurship in a different type of way. Like when you think of your own business as far as a dream, and you start that business out by yourself and not letting anybody else boss you around as if it's their business. And you know, I take that as a gigantic goal in my life, because when you look at your dream, it's a whole bunch of people in the world that's gonna push you down because they don't want you to succeed.
That's right.
And when I look at that, my personal goal is to be a better developed person of who I am right now. So.
Oh, there you are. I can't remember your popcorn, but it stood out to me. What did you say again in your popcorn?
I said it was stay connected to our past history,
Yes.
so that we can move forward.
Would you mind elaborating on that? What made you say that?
I'm an educator and I teach, and one of the things that I notice about our young people today is that they really are not, they know about Dr. King and they know about, you know, Muhammad Ali, but they really are not connected to it. And so like today I brought, most Saturdays I bring a couple of my students from our school in DeSoto here because there's a disconnection. And it's like if we don't own up to reconnecting our young people, we will lose so much of the progress that so many people like Dr. King and his legacy have been about for our people. And that's really crucial, I think, to us moving forward and moving our young people forward to stay connected to who we are as a group of people. And I think in your presentation in reference to, you said something about, you know, they can know the names of the dances and all of that, then there's enough built in them, and they're not connected to understanding that the other information, is nothing wrong with the dance, it's nothing, because we have to allow them to express themselves, but what is that connection that they get to lose about learning the rhythm and the words to the songs, that is disconnected from them connecting to other important information that they can move forward with. That's what I think.
Definitely. I mean, Sankofa.
Right.
We have to go back and get it to know where we're going.
Right.
So that, and which is the reason that we use Dr. King's "I Have a Dream" speech as a vessel to say what we were trying to say, because all the dreams and things that he spoke about. So when I wrote this was in 2015. It was like every 2 weeks somebody was killed on CNN. A black person was killed on CNN. So I'm just like, this is getting on my nerves. So I knew I had something to say. And then it just so happened that it was coming up on Martin Luther King's birthday. So just in honor to him, I read the speech and I was like, this is everything that's happening today.
Right.
But this is my first, I was 21, and I said, this is my first time reading this speech. So how do I bring this into conversation with what is happening today? So I had to go back and get that in 1963 just to bring it here to me at the age of 21, I didn't get it in school. Right? To be able to share and connect all of these dots for a community that otherwise would not have been connected.
I wanted to say that we always hear this cliche, knowledge is power. But when we get the knowledge and get the power, what do we do with it?
Nothing.
And see, that's the whole source of it, is what you do with it. Are you touching lives with it? Are you doing something positive with it? Are you helping someone with it? We can get a whole lot of knowledge in our head, but if we never move, that's the reason why I say perseverance. Never stop moving. If you ever go by a lake or a creek, if it's just sitting there, it begins to stink. It begins to get nasty and slimy. So we as a people, once we get knowledge and we got the power, we should go out and empower one another and others, even in our family. It starts with the mother. It starts with the father. But now we have the television. We got Facebook. We got Instagram. All of this stuff is raising our children. And that's what's empowering our children now. So it's up to me as a parent to stop that vicious cycle that is starting in this time, 2017. We got to stop allowing the out there to raise our children. So that's how we can empower, by starting within yourself. So that's what I want to say. Knowledge is power, but do something with the power.
We have about 5 minutes left.
We'll take one more and then we'll do some Q&A.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I like to piggyback off what my sister here said. I just want to issue the challenge. Since today is 2017, when we look up and it's 2037, when we leave here from today, we have to ask ourselves a deep question of, what did I do today in order to make a better tomorrow? Because as Black people, we have to stop living for the moment and not live in the moment of 2017, but look in the moment of 2107. What did we do today in order to make a better future for tomorrow? So my challenge to myself was, I went to school and I educated myself at the Prairie View A&M University.
Hey.
All right. I said to myself, it makes no sense to go to school, learn all of this knowledge, as my sister said, and not put it to work. So I decided to open up my own business, because it makes no sense as an African American to get all of this knowledge and power, get your doctorate and your master's,
Come on.
everything else, only to go make somebody else rich.
That's right. That's right.
The challenge has to come to ourselves of understanding what social order is and social empowerment, understanding the point there is that us, as the educated, the smart Blacks, the elite Blacks, we have to look out for our lower end of the
That's right.
Blacks, because at the
Pull
end
them
of
up.
the day, poor Blacks and rich Blacks are living in two different worlds.
That's right.
It is up to us as those that know to go out and create a better future for those that do not have, so they don't have to worry about cutting their hair, can't have tattoos, can't have dreadlocks, because we can hire and understand our own.
That's right.
There's no reason why Black people should ever limit themselves, and we got to stop. We can't deal with white supremacy until we deal with Black self-inferiority.
That's right.
So by saying what Black self-inferiority means, saying that if I want to open up a business, I'm saying that I can only do hair, only own a soul food restaurant. No.
Take it
We
bigger.
can get into everything. We can be agents, we can be accountants, we can be lawyers, we can be doctors, we can be artists, we can be everything that we want to be and support our own.
Right.
Today, we don't have to worry about what's going on tomorrow. We have to worry about what's going on today in order to affect tomorrow, because 50 years from now, we don't want to keep talking about what Martin did in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. We want to talk about what did we do in 2017 to make a better tomorrow.
Right.
What I ask and what I do in my business is I tell people, what can you do to make a better future for your kids? And I'm wrapping it up. But if we set each other up where when our kids get 20, 25, 30, instead of having them going into debt, when we can give them a check and saying, here's the first down payment on your house.
Come on.
That's when we're going to start changing stuff. So we can fight all on the social economic issue, but we can't forget, as we fight the social, we got to start dealing with the economic, because if we walk step with step and chew gum and walk at the same time, will be a better future for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bring your kids to Sweet Joy Farm, let them get some organic food.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we're going to open up for a couple questions. I do want to respond to Jamel's challenge. Yeah, dope. I accept. I want to disclaim that for us, I wouldn't do the caste system of blacks, elite blacks and poor blacks. Equality for all.
Right.
We may make more money, but our souls came from the same place.
That's right.
The same thing. So it's just a language that I wouldn't agree with. But your challenge is dope, and yes, I feel like we do have to do all of those things for our people, but just for all of us to be on the same page that there's no caste system of black people, right? We all have to help each other, whether we ain't got no house or whether we got it all. So that's just all I want to say.
I want to commend you on doing the play, and for the ones that grew up in the '60s, that seen it, that felt it. We know the reality more than anything, and because we were in it, we were oppressed, and he had a dream so we could be free. But when we got free, we forgot about each other. That's what happened.
Wow.
We forgot about each other.
We
Once we started getting bigger houses, degrees. That's what Dr. King didn't have that in mind. He said, help each other. Don't ask nothing from nobody else but from us. So I want to commend you. And I would say to each one of us that we should get the word out, and this is how it starts, through arts.
That's right.
Let rap control our young people. It's got to be arts like plays and reading and education. That's the only way we're going to be helped. So how do you feel about that? I mean, what inspired you? I mean, when you read it, did you feel like, man, are they going through that? I can't imagine what they went through.
Well, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Okay.
So I did another piece called Black Voices, a younger generation's take on police brutality.
Okay.
And I wrote that piece also, and she was in that one too. That was a 45-minute piece. That was just my response to all of the killing that was happening. I had something to say, and I was upset. So the way that I wanted, and I had questions. I wanted to know something, and I wanted to know more than just asking my mom, just asking my dad or my family. I wanted to know what the community thought. Am I the only person feeling the way that I feel? Is it just me? So I created a piece of art to have a conversation. That's why we stop in the middle of shows to say, what do you think? Or we do this after the show. What's in your minds? Because there are a lot of theater people that don't do theater the way that we do, that will stop and say, hey, let's just talk about what just happened. But I just want to know what somebody other than me think. Is it just me? Am I lost? Am I living in a fairy tale world? Am I the only one seeing this on CNN? So that's what inspires me.
Can I just give a quick claim to rap and social media? That everything in this life is a tool, right? That it can be used for good, right? It can be used for bad. Right. As a person who enjoys rap music, that's good. It's about what you choose to listen to. That's true. What you choose to feed your social consciousness with, what you choose to put into your mind and your body. And I want us to remember that, because those are the things that empower us as people. Music has always done that. Yes. And that is how our generation continues to do it. So I want to pay homage to that.
Yeah, like we're on Facebook Live now.
Yeah.
Know.
Yes, and I can't see it in the dark. That's why I was doing like this.
But to quickly answer, it's what inspires me is the betterment of our people.
That's right.
To make sure we can talk to each other and figure out if there's a problem, how can we work.
That's right.
So my question is, I apologize.
No, I said we'll come to him.
Okay, so my question is, kudos to you all, seriously.
Yes,
How
yes.
can you take your technique and get it into some of our
Schools.
It's not my technique. So I do a technique called soul work, which is a technique of a brilliant woman named Dr. Crystal Truscott.
Okay.
She created the technique. It's a theater making technique, so it's not just acting and directing. You can find her on progresstheater.com, and you can go to artist bios of Dr. Crystal Truscott. Soul work is a method of theater making that's based in African and African American aesthetics. So we do theater works from that background. Now, some of this is the performance, like our aesthetic and acting and directing, that's all her. I learned that from her. But the style that I do theater, it's a little bit of a different variation, but this like Talkback style is definitely hers. Yeah, so go to progresstheater.com, She does do workshops all across the country. She comes into schools, and lots of times we do it for free. So you can email her. Her email is on the website. You can say, hey, we were interested. We heard about you. Can you come on?
So they'll come and they'll do this one?
ProgressTheater.com. But with the R-E. The R-E.
R-E.
Yes.
Yes, last question. 1 in 3 black men will be incarcerated in their lifetime. And I think the black church has failed the black community. We get up there, we can holler, but we don't talk about our issues. I have a question. Do you think hip-hop culture is to blame for the incarceration rate? Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, do you think that's the problem? Do you think the hip-hop culture is to blame for mass incarceration rate? Or do you think it's the parents? I think it's both. It's both.
It's no one or two.
Yeah.
That's what I would
But the influence that hip-hop culture has affects the incarceration rate among African American men.
Well, I'll initially say
I disagree.
I disagree with that.
Go ahead. We mothers, so we gonna say we disagree.
First of all, let me just say this. I was the first parole officer hired in the state of Texas, and I work with parole, and I'm gonna tell you, it ain't the rap.
Okay.
So let's have a coordinated, response. So let's let Daniel and then the response, and then we have Vortation.
Yeah,
sorry.
If
I'm wrong, tell me.
No, you're not wrong.
No. Listen, I want you to listen. I'm not a scholar, so I would say just from living life for 23 years that there's no one answer to that question, and there's no direct path. There's a myriad of things that contribute to how many black men go into the penal system. You can look at the laws that there are marijuana laws that give you a higher sentence than cocaine and crack. You can just look at the laws and see that. So there's a whole system of oppression that are descendants of slavery. Right. That go back that far. And I'm no scholar to
genocide.
Really break that down. So, but there's I wouldn't say hip hop, because if you look at the foundations of hip hop when it started, there's a lot of Sankofa that all of us have.
Yeah.
And it's really no one answer to that.
And I love hip hop. I'm a street dancer, so I don't.
I was just going to say, I worked in the criminal justice system for many years. I was the first parole officer hired in the state of Texas for adults. And it's institutionalized racism. It's the criminal justice system. It's those of us who won't go vote for judges who make the sentences. There are a lot of brothers in jail, but white people get probation, but we get jail. So, there is no 1, 2, it's just a systematic racism system that we have here in the United States of America. So, yes, parents are very influential. There are many things. A lot of it has to go back to our education system. And so I think we have to look at ourselves and see what we can do in our scope or our little world to make sure that our young brothers and sisters are on the right path. And you can't blame the churches.
Okay.
The churches haven't failed us. I think we have failed the church.
That's right.
The church is in your heart.
Exactly. It's not the building.
It's not the bricks.
That's right.
So that's all I want to say. You just can't pinpoint 1, 2, 3, 4 things. There's so many things.
That's right.
Yeah, it's really quick. From filmmaker to filmmaker, 13 really explains that in depth. And I don't even want to go back into what they kind of talked about because it's the same as that rhetoric. But if you haven't seen it, that'll probably explain a lot because, we can do everything correct. But when there are institutional things that are set in place, it's just really hard. It's not that it's impossible, but it's really hard to break. So that's all.
But it's improving, though. A lot of black men are going to touchdown, so it's improving.
We can talk about that even more.
We are at a time, we are so over time. But feel free to come talk to us, to talk to each other, right? That the conversation goes beyond the theater, that is the point of artistry and activism. So please keep the conversations going even after the show with your own family, your own communities. And that way, I think we have a ritual that needs to be done.
Yeah, I know we're way over time, but can we do one thing before we leave?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I want us to do a call and response in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. I want all of us, if we can, if you're in the room, if you would please speak and finish this sentence. I have a dream, blah, blah, blah. And if everybody, we can just go around, and after everyone says their speech, or after one person says it, let's say Ashe.
Can I add a rule to it?
Sure.
That let's keep the I have a dream extension to about 10 words. No more than 10 words.
Yes.
Right.
Anybody want to start? And then we'll just go down. Yes, ma'am.
I have a dream that I will be able to reach my community.
Ashe.
I have a dream to change the lives of our African American men and women in this country.
I have a dream that everyone will learn to love each other no matter what color or creed they come from.
I have a dream to empower young women, black women, yellow women, whichever color women, empower them through the word of God, not only in this city, but nation to nation, to go beyond, where I was as a child and be the woman of God that He's called me to be.
I have a dream to reach one, to teach one.
I have a dream to educate our youth, as in early Head Start, preschool, African American children.
I have a dream to see more women in color in the fields of science and technology.
Yes. I have a dream to actualize my potential.
I have a dream to be a real estate investor and help those in economically deprived areas.
Did you come?
I have a dream to inspire children all over the world.
Kevin, you have a dream?
No. We'll come back to you, okay? You have a dream? We'll come back to you. Y'all have to find the dream.
I have a dream of unity and inclusion across all races, creeds, and religion.
I have a dream to be the person that God wants me to be and strive to help people as me. Showing my heart to happen. I have a dream to one day be the change in the criminal justice system.
I have a dream to one day to help people.
Grandma?
I have a dream to be an example for the young people and to assist where I can to ensure that they have greater experience in life and not give up on their dreams.
Ashe. We did. No, we didn't.
I have a dream that the next generation will be free, truly free. And that the next generation will understand that the African people are the mother, father people of the world. And so until we all understand that, we will not be free.
I have a dream to see all men, women, boys, and girls in the eyes that God sees all.
I have a dream to keep the dream alive and go beyond the dream.
I have a dream for a better tomorrow for Black America.
I have a dream that I will be free. I have a dream that the world will be free and come to God together in peace and unity. All races, all colors, all sexual orientations. God is love.
That's right.
I have a dream. I have a dream that my peers that's my age will think outside of the box other than their phone or the TV. And I also have a dream that I will influence them to get bigger in life, other than stay down the
For those of you who just joined us, please say, I have a dream and your dream.
I have a dream. Fly, not land again.
I say
that because I know it's a dream. And I know who I am. And I'm strong to it. And I'm landing. I want to go. I want to fly. I want the journey that I had. As I see our God, everything make my dreams come true.
I say, yeah, we had a rule.
Yeah.
I know you were joining us, but if we could just keep it to like 10 sentences.
Yeah.
We're way over time. Yeah, but
Word.
we have just 2 more, and then you all can come and talk to us. You wanted to share?
I don't know.